Final Fantasy X, or more accurately, the Final Fantasy X and X2 HD remaster on PS4. So I've never done one of these live streams before on the PS4, so we're going to see how this works out. Probably going to do a short session today. I played Final Fantasy X a long time ago. Growing up, I never finished it, so I figured, yeah, it was a good time to come back to it. I don't know why, but I got the urge to give this one a go, so we're going to play it, and I don't think a remaster in the style of Final Fantasy VII is coming anytime soon, so, or sorry, a remake rather, so this remaster will have to do. And I already played a little bit of this beforehand, and then I decided why not make this into a live stream. And we're going to see how this works out, because I don't know what parts it allows you to record and what parts it doesn't. I know some scenes are blocked. Sometimes you see that pop up, so I'm not sure. But hopefully this will be a quick little playthrough, and we'll see. So Final Fantasy X was the one of the first to do this sort of 3D, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if 9 did it or not. This was by far the best looking one at the time, but they all are, I suppose. You can ignore me on that last part. We're going to skip through this initial cutscene here and just jump right into a new game. So I had to look this up. There's apparently 2 different sphere grids. In the initial release in North America, we never got the Expert sphere grid, we only got the standard. So I mean, for this purpose it doesn't really matter, we'll go with the standard grid. The Expert grid, really what it allows you to do is mix and match characters any way you like. So you could have Titus be like a mage if you wanted to, but we're gonna go with the standard sphere grid for this playthrough. Alright. And there's also an arranged and original soundtrack. So some people have complained that the arranged is not like the original. To me, the arranged sounds better. Sounds like a more fuller sound, but I played the arranged on my first playthrough here that I started, so I'm going to try the original for this one. Yeah, we're going to go with the original. So I'm going to let the cutscene play out here for you folks without too much interruption. So as far as I know, this cutscene is from later on in the game, or it sort of kicks you off to the beginning after this. A little bit about which Final Fantasies I played. I played 4, 1 and 2 here and there. I've never played 7, surprisingly. Played X2 for a bit, and I've also played 13, which everybody seemed to hate, but I didn't mind so much. So. You know, I thought there was voiceover here. And I wonder, is it just not doing it because I'm streaming? Like, are these cutscenes just mute?
Listen to my story.
No. No, here it is.
This may be our last chance.
Final Fantasy X, or 10, as some like to call it. I don't know the history behind the Roman numerals. I do know the history behind the name a little bit, is that when they were releasing the first Final Fantasy game, it was in a string of games, and their first few didn't sell very well, so the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. So they called this one Final Fantasy because they thought it'd be their final game. So, fun fact. So we got this dude, he's called everybody over for something. And then we get our first mystery of the game here. This ghost child. So I never actually got far enough to know who he is, but he's present in a whole bunch of scenes. So we get introduced to Titus here. So he's got a big fan group. And I didn't realize when I started this, but everything is like an on-rails camera kind of, so each perspective is set, like Resident Evil 2 style, I guess, or Resident Evil style in general for the early games. So you're sort of running around. And it's a little odd. I don't remember it like this when I was younger, but definitely like an odd transition, because now everything is basically following the character, like all of the new Final Fantasy games. There's that. So we're gonna go greet our fans. So you really start out without knowing too much about any of these characters at all. So we can talk to people.
Can you sign this?
No problem.
Yeah, sure can. So this is how you get your name, I guess. We'll stick with Titus. And
Alright.
I am supposedly famous that I'm signing
Me too!
Take it
odd-looking
easy.
basketballs, which are actually for... my gosh, the name is escaping me now. Of this aqua soccer sport deal.
Can I have your autograph?
Of course.
Blitzball, there we go. Jeepers.
Good luck tonight!
So, yeah.
Nothing
there we
to
go.
worry about.
The ladies love me.
Oh, if I score a goal, I'll, do this. That will mean it was for you, okay?
Oh, yes.
What seat?
He's blocking the front row! Fifth from the right!
I am a
Got it.
hot shot. Cool.
Well, gotta go. Cheer for me.
2, 3... Teach us how to blitz!
Hey, I got a game to play.
Then teach us after!
Maybe tonight, well...
You
Of
can't
course,
tonight.
big hotshot star will,
I mean, tomorrow.
mystery kid.
Promise?
Promise.
Yeah, I mean, how much free time do I have that I'm just gonna go out and teach these kids how to play blitzball? So watch this here, this salute thing that they do is like a blitzball salute. They'll pick up later on that. They'll mention it in the game pretty soon again. I don't know if we'll get to it in this first part. Got a nice scene of the city here, like a sunset. And we're prominently featuring this dude on the display. Like, who is he? So Titus clearly has a thing for him. And it's worth mentioning, the voice acting here is very stiff compared to the new games. I didn't realize this at the time.
I was in a coffee shop running away from home when I heard the news. Our hero, checked, gone, vanished into thin air. My dad must have been his biggest fan. I knew how sad he'd be. Heck, we all were that day. Zanar, I says to myself, what are you thinking? I went running straight back home. We sat up talking about Jack all night. My dad and I never talked so much. Whoa, Didn't mean to reminisce, folks. Anyway, 10 years later, the Jack Memorial Cup tournament is today. The two teams that have won through to the finals are, of course, the Abes from A East and the Duggles from C South. I know there's a lot of people out there today to see the star of the Abes. In just 1 year, he's become the team's #1 player. He's Jack's blood and the new hope of Blitzball. What kind of super play will he show us today? Will we see his father's legendary shot? I don't think I'm the only one excited here, folks.
So, and here they basically explain the Jet is your dad. And that was actually a pretty good voice, but in a lot of sections it sounds very like stiff, especially when characters talk to each other. You can kind of tell almost where they've cut off one character and then started the next voice sample. Man, it's definitely, you know, they've gone leaps and bounds within the new games. Within just, you know, when did this come out? 2002, my gosh. I mean, it's been a long time, 20 years almost. So, yeah, I guess it's, you know, advancement like that makes sense. So,
Make way, make way!
we got a big crowd.
Coming
here
through, sorry.
running to the game. It's very odd.
Hey,
Professional athletes
I'm
never
gonna
do
be
this. Like, you
late.
never just walk in through the crowd to the
Hey,
stadium.
let go of me!
This never happens. They're on, you know, they're in the, especially when you're on a team sport, like, you sort of just end up in the change room and then off you go on the field. Tennis players, you'll see them do this sometimes at tournaments, so they'll sort of just arrive, and even then, a lot of them have, a lot of the big tournaments have courts that you know, they get back entrances. So here we get our first FMV, I guess, full motion video. And it actually looks pretty decent, even by, you know, for me at least, it looks alright. I definitely think they could, you know, with the modern console, they could make a whole game look like this at this point. So the game's about to start. And here we get another mystery character. This dude, what a badass with his giant jug. So how they are breathing underwater is beyond me here. Like, I'm sorry, what? This lady is at least wearing goggles, the rest of them are essentially wearing goggles. So here we see this, some sort of tsunami happening. So now we realize it's not a tsunami, it's a sort of weapon or something. Okay, that's gonna fall back in the water here. Alright, maybe it's not water, and that's why they're able to breathe in it. Who knows? So we survived the initial attack on the city or whatever's going on. People are panicking. Mystery dude's here now.
Orin! What are you doing
Orin.
here?
I was waiting for you.
What are you talking about?
Oh yes. He's not gonna explain anything to me, just go with it. Mystery kid is confronting us. And time is frozen.
Begins.
What?
Don't cry.
So we don't really have much to go on there, who he is or what he is, but we'll keep going, I guess.
What the? Huh?
That's right. We'd be weird
Hey!
to go too.
Wait!
Orin will save us.
Hey! Not this way!
Look. We called it sin.
Sin?
Just in some sort of like monster deployment pod. So it's very topical, I guess, to play this game during COVID. Yeah. I guess to explain. We got a sword here. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. It looks like this, Titus has never used a sword before, but I'm about to battle with
From
it.
Jet.
My old man?
Gift from Jeff, yeah. My absent father sent me a long distance
I
drive.
hope you know how to use it.
But yeah, what I was saying is Sin is sort of supposed to, they'll explain this
These
in a
ones
bit,
don't matter. We cut through.
show up every 10 years and, for humanity's sins. And destroy the cities, I guess, so. I'm not into this whole prophecy stuff. You can sort of read into COVID and be like, oh, it's our time. I'm not really. Not really there. But anyway. So we don't really have too much to do here. We have a potion and a phoenix down. And we have one weapon. We have one armor. And we can't escape, so really this is just a very basic tutorial. So we're gonna just attack the enemy. And we also have skills, which is power break. Orin has it. It's basically a slightly more powerful attack. I think that uses MP magic points. So continue chopping ahead. But Sin is intent on stopping us.
Don't bother going after all of them. Cut the ones that matter and run.
So here we're basically supposed to, like, we can cut through all of them, but they're teaching you to select the ones out in front. Though that's the ones you select by default anyway, so you could just really mash your way through this. So, for some reason this kid hasn't asked why we're running towards the disaster. But there's not really any questions going on. Why aren't we leaving like the rest of them? And I love Warren's giant flask thing that he carries around with him all the time. Never know when you might need a drink. So here's our first little battle here. So
Get out of my town!
Some can't wait to die.
overdrive here, which is Bushido. Hit everything. There we go. So now we just attack this giant thing. Just gonna use Denny and Vendetta. So I have Titus's overdrive here, Spiral Touch. And you just have to click it when it matches up. That doesn't do all that much damage. We're gonna keep chopping at this thing. You really don't have to do anything at all here, just because this is the tutorial. I probably should have healed up there. You know what, just out of an abundance of caution, we're gonna heal up Titus. The next one was going to kill it anyway, I think. Oh, maybe not. Alright, I don't think I'm anywhere close to nothing. Yeah, there we go. Didn't really need to heal after all. I don't know how long the stream has gone on, but we're going to finish soon here. Oh, actually here may be a good point to save. And I guess you can't see what I'm doing here, so we'll go ahead and save. Yeah, and just because I don't know how well this recording is going on, I'm going to go ahead and save this here and stop the stream and then take a look at how it ends up on YouTube and what the quality's like, and then we'll see if I do more of these or not. But stay tuned if you want to see more Final Fantasy X content.